Jorgelt Kivano Kujvaj as I try to fix my hair. I need a haircut, but up here in Ketchum, everywhere I go, they want like $30. $30 for a haircut. It's that's ridiculous. $30 for a haircut. I think back home, in most places you go into like a supercut or something like that and you pay $15. And then you got a tip, you know? And I say you got a tip because when you go into a supercuts, the people in the supercuts, they are usually working like hourly, and so you tip in supercuts. But you go into a barber shop, that's always something that's puzzled me. You go into a barber shop, and a barber charges, say, $30 for a haircut, all right? Well, that's his business, okay? He charges $30 for a haircut. And, most people wouldn't walk out without tipping the barber. Or even you go to get your hair cut. Women, you go to get your hair colored or you go to get your hair cut, and they charge you $60 for a cut. Well, you feel compelled to tip them, right? I've never quite understood that because I'm going way off on a tangent from what I was going to talk about. But I charge for all intent and purpose, I charge $125 an hour. And I get a client that calls me up and they want me to do something, and I say, okay, well, it's going to take me 1 hour, and I do it, and they pay me my hourly rate. Never do they tip me. They never say, oh, you did a good job, I'm going to give you a little tip, you know. But anyway, so you go into a barber shop, and why is a barber shop any different? I mean, in all seriousness, you go into a barber shop, it's their business, just like my web design is my business, and you pay $30 for a haircut. Why should you give them, an extra $5 to $8 to cut your hair? When I'm way off on a tangent. But anyway, I mean, just I'd appreciate your comments and your thoughts on this. I don't always quite get it, and I think that people are afraid not to tip them because it's expected of them, and they're afraid of what are they going to think, if you walk out after paying $30 for a haircut, if you don't give them an extra, $5 to $8 or something like that. What are they going to think about you? Or the next time you go in, are they going to really mess up your hair? But now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't tip. You go into a supercuts, usually I'll tip 20%. Sometimes 25% when I go into a supercuts, because I know that the young person working there is working on an hourly wage plus tips. Okay, but but anyway, so look at my hair. I need a haircut, but I'm not going to pay $30 for a stinking haircut. So I'll wait until I get to Boise. Anyway, you can see my camper in the background there. There's my camper. I woke up bright and early, and I am mountain bound. I am going up to Stanley, Idaho. If you Google that, just Google Stanley, Idaho, or Google Redfish Lake. Redfish Lake, and that's where I'm headed. It's supposed to be a beautiful, beautiful spot. And I'm going to turn this camera around. I found my way here to the Bucks. So I don't think it's going to be all that long of a drive. It's not going to be all that long of a drive up to Redfish Lake. I think it'll be all of about an hour or something like that. And as I walk down, well, I'm not going to walk too far down the street, but driving up the street this morning, or pulling into Ketchum, I should say, off in the distance north on I-75, you can just see just tons of mountain ranges. So I'm going to head up there. I'm going to head up there rather shortly, because some of the campgrounds are first come first serve, and I'm hoping to find a spot to camp up there. If you can't find a spot, there's always the National Forest, and I believe that you can just grab a spot in the National Forest. Ketchum's a really nice place. It's brisk this morning, to say the very, very least. Temperature this morning is probably about, I don't know if you can see the mountains off in the distance there, but the temperature here is probably well into the 50s. I would think it's it's actually rather brisk. And somewhere along the line, I lost or misplaced my Bondi Beach hoodie, and I don't know if I left it at Ken's place down in Gardnerville, or if I just have it somewhere in my truck or camper. But anyway, maybe I'll find it. If not, I'll have to. Just gives me an excuse to go back to Bondi Beach and get another Bondi Beach hoodie. But I got to tell you that I'm a little bit. I don't know if the word is road weary, but the decision to fly home. The decision to fly home next week after a brief stop in Sacramento for a coffee date with Christy is going to be much needed and much welcomed. This is the main street here in Ketchum, and this is the street that I was driving down this morning. And off in the distance, so you can't see it all that well, but there's the mountains. There's more mountains behind those mountains, but anyway, that's about it, folks. So as I was saying, the decision to go back home is I think it's a good one. That I need a break. I need a break. I've been living in a camper for all intent and purpose. I've been living in a camper now for 2 months, and just the thought of going back to my lagoon pool, and boy, that's good. The thought of going back to my lagoon pool down in Florida and my own bed and everything for the better part of 10 days is going to be it'll rejuvenate me. I think it'll rejuvenate me, and we will see, where I go from there, whether I hit the Eastern Canada shoreline. You need a holiday from your holiday. That's what I was thinking, Kathy. I do. Maybe I should go to Maui. And kick back. Boy, anyway, it's cold here. I'm going to keep this short. I really am curious to know your thoughts on whether you go in and you tip a barber that charges you $30 for a haircut, or you charge somebody that cuts your hair, anybody that cuts your hair. That is their, it's their business. Because nobody gives me tips. When I do work and I charge $125 an hour, they don't give me tips. When somebody comes and fixes your refrigerator and they charge you the hourly rate plus parts, do you give them a tip? Usually not. But anyway, all right, have a great day.